Hi everybody, happy Tuesday. You're probably going to see this Wednesday, so happy hump day. Hopefully last video was easy, converting from degrees to radians and radians into degrees. So this should look familiar. Now we're going to learn how to fill out the unit circle using radians instead of degrees. Radians is derived from the word radius. So I marked the circles again. This is a 45 degree. So last time we did this, we broke down the angles by 45 degrees. This time we're going to break it down by radians. So this is the radius. If you remember, we start here with, this would be 0, starting here 0 degrees. And this is also 0 pi. There is no pi here. If you recall, it took 3 and a little bit more, so 3.14, so I'm wearing my pi shirt, 3.14 or pi to get a half a circle. So all the way around a circle would be 2 pi. And then, so if this is pi, up here would be half pi, or pi over 2. And if this is half pi, pi, this would be 1.5 pi's, or 3/2 pi. And then of course there's 2 pi. Well, so to do 45 degrees then, I want you to notice that I shaded this. So to get to a full pi, it takes 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. So I'm just going to shade this and I'm going to call this 1/4. So 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4 to equal pi. So that's how I do this in my head when I'm figuring out how to fill out the unit circle for the 45 degree parts. So to do this, remember this would be 45 degrees. I would say to here it's 1/4 pi. So I'm going to write, just to fill it out, 1/4 pi, or pi over 4 is the absolutely correct way. So this would be 1/4 pi. This would be 2/4 pi, or pi over 2. So this one is 3/4 pi. So this would be 3/4 pi, which I can't simplify. This would be 4/4 pi. And of course, what does 4/4 equal? 1 pi. And then keep going to finish. So then this would be 5/4 pi. Can't simplify that. Keep going to here. This is 6/4 pi, which ends up reducing to 3/2. Then this is 7/4 pi. And then this is 8/4 pi, which reduces to 2. So do you see how that is? 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, 8/4. Because 45 degrees is broken down into 8 equal parts. I always feel like I'm doing the Dr. Seuss book. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, I don't know. I'm weird. Okay, so that's how you do it. I just think of it as 1/4 piece, so 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, 8/4, and we just filled it out in radians. Just remember there's a pi in your answer. Okay, so the same thing with 30 degrees. 30 degrees, so I filled this out. Okay, so I did my marking for 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees, same old thing, except we want to write our answer in radians. So again, you need to remember this is 0 or 0 pi. This would be pi here. So if you notice, to get to 1 full pi, how many of these 30 degree equal parts do I have? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal parts to get to pi. So instead of counting by 1/4, when you do the 30 degree markings, you're going to count by 1/6. So you're going to go around the circle going 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 6, 6, which is 1, 7, 6, 8, 6, 9, 6, 10, 6, 11, 6, 12/6, which is 2 pi. Just that simple. But you have to remember to simplify the fractions. So here we go. So 1/6 pi, which would be pi over 6. 2/6 pi, which can be simplified to 1/3 or pi over 3. And then you have 3/6 pi, of course, we already know that's pi over 2. And then 4/6 pi, so I'm going to write it first. 4/6 reduces to 2/3, don't forget your pi symbol. And then 5/6 pi can't be simplified. 6/6 pi is pi, because that's 1. Then we got 7/6 pi. 8/6 pi simplifies to divided by 2, which would be 4/3 pi. And then we already know that one, that's 3/2 pi. Or if I wrote it for you, that's 9/6 divided by 3, which is 3/2. So 9/6, then I got 10/6, which divided by 2 simplifies to 5/3 pi. And then this one is 11/6 pi, and then of course 12/6 is 2/6 pi. There you go, that's your circle in radians. Okay, so then we got the full thing. So your homework tonight is you're going to fill out one of these sheets, and so when you make your copy for your blank, make 2 copies. And again, I know you can just copy it yourself, but try to do it without looking. That's the point. Try to do it without looking. I know some of you won't, but you need to try it. So, here we go. Again, how you like to do it is your own preference. So I always like to do the easy ones first. I know this is 0 pi or 0, and this would be 2 pi if I go all the way around. So that's 2 pi, I know that's pi. This would be a 1/2 pi. I always like to do what I consider to be my easy ones first. This is 3/2 pi. So that takes care of my 90 degrees. And then on this one, do you like to do your 45s? I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to do my 30s. So I got all my brown one here. I don't know if you can differentiate on the colors. Those are counted by 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6. So I'll simplify at the end. So let's just do it simple. So I'm going to go 1, 6, 2, 6, oops, 2, 6, whoa, 3, 6, 4, 6. I'll even put my pi's in later. 5, 6, that would be my 6, 6, 7, 6. This would be my 8, 6. That's my 9, 6. This is my 10, 6. This would be my 11, 6. And there's my 12, 6. So 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6. Go all the way around till you get to 12, 6. Now I'll do the same thing for my 45s. I'll use a different color. So these are counted by a 4th. That's my pink. So my pink. So 0/4. So this would be 1/4. 2/4, that's another 45. Here's another 45, so that would be 3/4. 4/4 is 1. 5/4. And then another 45 is 6/4. Already got a marking there. Then this would be 7/4. And then this would be 8/4. So my circle is complete. Now let's go simplify and put our pi symbol on there. And then we're done. So I got 1/6, which would be pi over 6, 1/4 pi or pi over 4, 2/6 pi reduces to 1/3 or pi over 3. We already have that one simplified. That would reduce to 2/3 pi. And yes, you have to simplify, always. 3/4 pi. And you can write it like this, just so you know if you see it, either way. You can put the pi in the numerator, but not in the denominator. Okay, 5/6 pi, pi, 7/6 pi, 5/4 pi, 8/6 pi reduces to 4/3 pi. What happens if you don't simplify? I'm going to mark it wrong. Okay, 3/2, 10/6, 5/3 pi. 7/4 can't be simplified. 11/6 can't be simplified. And there you have it. So I'm going to tell you right now, for those of you who are listening, who should be listening, you're going to have a quiz on Friday. So you might have to fill this in, but more than likely you're going to be using your conversion, and I'm going to ask you questions like this, so you can either make a circle, or you can remember, what if I said, hey, what degree is 3/2 pi? Well, if you made a circle, you can go, oh, 3/2 pi is degrees, that's 270 degrees, or you can remember how to convert. So you could go 3/2 pi. Let's see, if I want degrees, I want to get rid of that pi symbol, so I'm going to multiply by 180 over pi, so I can make my, oops, that's a 1. So I can make my pi go away, so that would cancel out. I can cross cancel, 2 can go into 80, 90 times, and I would get 270 degrees. For those of you who don't like to show work, how hard is that to show work? I mean, come on, peeps, really? Really? Show me some work. Show me the money. No, just kidding. Okay, so that's it for your lesson. Have a great evening, and if you're in period 1 and period 5, I will see you in the morning if you're watching this tonight. Ciao. Peace.